Dear students, in the earlier sessions of this particular chapter, continuity and differentiability, we had considered the derivatives of different types of functions. We started with a composite function. By applying the chain rule, we got the derivative, and then we learnt about the inverse trigonometric functions derivatives, and then the logarithmic differentiation, then the implicit function, and finally the parametric function. So, all these functions whose derivatives we have discussed in the earlier sessions. So, it may be a explicit function, or it may be an implicit function, it may be a parametric function. You know how to find the derivative, that is dy by dx, when y is given to us. Now, let me consider a function here, say y is equal to x cube plus 4x square plus 7x plus 10. Let me consider a simple algebraic function here, polynomial function, x cube plus 4x square plus 7x plus 10. Now, let me differentiate this with respect to x, that is dy by dx. You know that x cube becomes 3x square, 4 into 2x, that is 8x, and 7 into 1, that is 7. You observe the derivative here. Now, you observe that it is again a polynomial function. Certainly, it can be again differentiated. So, once we have done the differentiation, we got the derivative like this. Now, observe the derivative of y with respect to x. Now, this is called as the first order derivative because we have differentiated only one time. Now, you observe this one, even this function can also be differentiated further. That is, we differentiate with respect to again x only, that is d by dx of dy by dx. So, 3 into x square becomes 2x, that is 6x and 8. Now, again, now here, see, it is once we are differentiated, we wrote it as dy by dx. Now, second time we are differentiating. So, d by dx of dy by dx, it is actually written as d square by dx square, that is equal to 6x plus 8. See here, this number 2, do not write dy square here. Because y is the function which has been differentiated 2 times, that is the meaning of that one. Do not write dy square, it has to be written as d square y by dx square, because d by dx is called as the differential operator. So, we have differentiated that 2 times, that is the meaning. So, it is d square of y, d square y over dx square. That means the function has been differentiated how many times here? 2 times. And look at this is called as the second order derivative because we have differentiated it 2 times here. Now, observe this function again can be differentiated, that is, see d by dx of d square y by dx square. Now, here 6x into 8 we are having. If you differentiate, we will be getting only 6, a constant. Now, 2 times already we have differentiated. When you differentiate that again, it becomes d cube y over dx cube, that is equal to 6. That means that the function y has been differentiated how many times? 3 times here. So, this is called as the third order derivative. Suppose you differentiate one more time here, d4y over dx4. This being a constant becomes 0. So, this stops here because it is a polynomial function. Suppose you had sin x here, it would become cos x. Cos x becomes minus sin x. Again, so there is no end at all. You can differentiate any number of times. So, this way of differentiating a function again and again is called as successive differentiation. It is called as successive, that means one after another, successive differentiation. But for your syllabus, we confine our study only to the second derivative. So, here afterwards now, you will be calculating the second derivative of the given function. So, the first derivative you know how to find out. Whatever may be the type of function, whatever may be the type of differentiation we are following, we differentiate once. Then again we differentiate for the second time, applying the appropriate rule. Sometimes if it's a composite function, you may have to apply chain rule, product rule, quotient rule, logarithmic differentiation, whatever may be the method, whatever may be the function we will be getting, we differentiate once, then rearrange the terms, differentiate for the second time. So that is known as the second derivative. So after differentiation, if the function is differentiable, that means it can be differentiated, then we go for the second derivative. So when your function is differentiated 2 times now, we call it as the second order derivative. So it is written as d square y by dx square. That is d by dx or dy by dx is denoted as d square y by dx square. Suppose a function can be differentiated n times, then we call it as nth order derivative. It is dny over dxn. It's only for information sake I am telling you, because we study only up to the second derivative here. So whatever rules you have already learned, we use them and find the second derivative of the given function. So that is a type of function in today's session I am going to consider. So when a function is given, differentiate once, then you differentiate again, that becomes the second order derivative. Now this is one notation, d square y by dx square. Suppose a function is given like this, f of x equal to something, then f double dash x. F dash x when you write, it is the first order derivative. F double dash x means it is the second order derivative. So this is the other notation for the second derivative. Or sometimes we write like this also, y double dash. Y dash means first derivative, y double dash second derivative. Or we write the subscript, that is y1 for the first derivative, y2 for the second derivative. So these are the other notation. Sometimes we write like this also, like a capital D square of y. This, but usually these notations are given in the, even in the question paper also. This is not used, but this is another notation for the second derivative, right? Capital D and then square of the given function y, that is known as the derivative. Okay. Now we work out some problems connected with the second derivative. So the question would be like this: if y is given, then they ask you find d square y by dxy. Like this it can be asked, or it can be given like this: find the second derivative of the following functions. So whatever may be that one, whatever may be the instruction that is given, you have to find the second derivative. They may ask you find d square y by dx square, or they may ask you find the second derivative of the function. I start with a very simple problem. Y is equal to x to the power 20. If it's a very simple problem, for 1 mark question it would be asked. Little bit complicated, you can expect it for a 2 mark question. Y is equal to x to the power 20. This is of the form x to the power n. So what is the first derivative? N into x to the power n minus 1. So differentiate once, we get dy by dx equal to 20 into x to the power 19, 1 less than that, because 20 is a positive integer. Now for the second derivative, that is d square y by dx square, this would be equal to, keep the 20 as it is, which is a constant, then differentiate x to the power 19. What's the derivative? It is 19 into x to the power 18. So multiply 20 into 19, that will be 380 into x to the power 18. So such simple problems, you can expect it for a 1 mark question, not more than that one. So sometimes when you differentiate for the second time, the term may be, second derivative may become 0 also. Suppose it is x square we are having. One time you differentiate 2x, and the second time, suppose you are having not x square, only x we are having. When you differentiate x, now it becomes 1. If you differentiate again, it becomes 0. So whatever may be the function that is given, if you are asked to differentiate 2 times, apply the correct formula and differentiate 2 times. Sometimes in the beginning it may be a simple function. After the first derivative, it may become a composite function or a product or a quotient, depending upon the function that is given. Then apply the appropriate rule and then find the derivative. Let us consider another problem. Y is equal to x square plus 3x plus 2. So it is again a polynomial function of the second degree. Differentiate once. It is dy by dx. X square becomes 2x and 3 into 1, because these are very simple problems which you have done already. So x square becomes 2x and this would be equal to 3. So the derivative, the first derivative is 2x plus 3. Now differentiate again with respect to x. So this becomes d square y by dx square equal to 2 into 1 and 3. Of course, for that one being a constant, it is 0. Hence the derivative is equal to simply 2. It is a constant. So here first problem I had only one term. Second one I had a polynomial function which contained 3 terms here. So each term as usual we differentiate with respect to x. Now let me consider another problem. Y is equal to x cube plus tan x. See, both those problems were quite simple. Even the second derivative also we applied the same rule. Now differentiate here with respect to x. Dy by dx equal to, first one is x cube becomes 3x square. Then for tan x it is secant square x. Tan x it is secant square x. This is what I told you. In the first step it may be a simple function. For the second step, second derivative, it may become a composite function. You observe here, when you find the second derivative, d square y by dx square, it is 3 into 2x. It is an algebra function, directly we can differentiate. Look here, it is secant square x. Secant x will be a simple function. Secant square x means it is a composite function. So first you have to give importance to the power here, index. So it becomes x square would become 2x, like secant square x becomes 2 secant x. So the 2 part is over. What's the derivative of secant x? It is again secant x into tan x. Secant x into tan x. So what's the second derivative? 3 2s are 6x, 2 into secant, that is secant square x into tan x. So this is how we have to find out. So if it is a quite function is a simple, sometimes second step also we get a simple function. Suppose you get a composite function here, it depends upon what is the function, how is the function that is given to us. Then you may have to apply the chain rule to get the derivative of the composite function. Now let us move on to the next problem. Again I am considering a basic function y is equal to log x. Here what is the first derivative? What is the derivative of log x? It is 1 by x. It is very simple. Again such problems you can expect only for a 1 mark question. Now in this one you can expect for a 2 mark question, because here we are applying the chain rule, little bit complicated compared to this one. Now dy by dx equal to 1 by x, because log of anything is 1 over the something, same thing. So it is d square y by dx square is, now again 1 by x is a standard function, the basic function. What's the derivative of 1 by x? It is minus 1 by x square. I have given all this when I gave you the set of formulae. So it is y is equal to log x means the first derivative is 1 by x, the second derivative is minus 1 by x square. Both of them they come under the basic function. Now the next problem. Here it is can be expected for a 2 mark question. In the earlier problems there were 2 terms, we applied the sum rule, that is we differentiated each term with respect to its individual. Look at this function. It is x cube into log x. Into means which rule you have to apply? The product rule. So let me apply the product rule here. Calculate the first derivative. So dy by dx equal to, what does the product rule say? First function, that is x cube into derivative of the second function. For log x it is 1 by x, plus second function log x into derivative of the first. So x cube has the derivative 3x square. Now you can cancel this x square times. So this would be equal to x square plus 3 into x square into log x. See, for the second derivative, two ways you can differentiate. Of course, we get the same answer. Here, one method is you can take out x square as a common factor, then differentiate. Again, it would be a product rule. You have to apply the product rule. Or else, you differentiate this as it is. For this one, you have to apply the product rule. Both are correct. Suppose I take a common factor here, x square. Both ways, of course, you get the same result. X square into what is remaining? 1 is there. X square, 1 is the coefficient, plus 3 into log x. 3 into log x. You observe that again we got a product here, x square into 1 plus 3 log x. Now let us go for the second derivative. D square y by dx square equal to first function x square into, always write the terms inside the bracket when you are applying the product rule, that too which is containing more than one term. For 1 it is 0, plus keep that 3 as it is. For log x it is 1 by x. Okay, first function into the derivative of the second, plus second function 1 plus 3 log x into derivative of the first function. What is that one? It is nothing but 2x. Now, you can simplify a little bit here. You can simplify, that is d square y by dx square is equal to, now 0 is there, x square into 3 into 1 by x. If you can directly multiply, it's okay, or else I am writing one more step. And the second term is 2x into 1 plus 3 log x. 1 plus 3 log x. Now 1x here you can cancel. You can cancel. Another x is remaining. So 3 into x plus, here also I remove the bracket, 2x into 1 is 2x, 2x into 3, that is 6 into x into log x. Why I multiplied is, we will be having the same type of term, two terms, so that you can simplify that function, 3x plus 2x, that is 5x. So the second derivative becomes d square y by dx square equal to 5x plus 6x into log x. You can stop here, or you can take out one more common factor, present answer in another way. When you take out x as common factor, it becomes 5 plus 6 into log x. Even if you stop here, you get the marks for that one. So if the terms are more, better you take out the common, if there is any common factor, you take out the common factor and present the answer in a simpler way, or in a better way, I can say. See, I told you already, suppose you had started differentiating at this without taking the common factor, x square would become 2x here. For 3, keeping that outside, for x square into log x, you have to apply the product rule, and simplifying, you will be getting the same answer. So answer would be different, answer would be same, but the methods would be different. So either you can take the common factor, then go for differentiation, or as it is you can do the differentiation. Both ways you are getting the same answer. Answer would be C. Similarly, now I want to consider another product. It is x into cos x. See, you can try a problem at home, x into sin x, or x into tan x, x into secant x. Like that, you can frame the problems yourself and then differentiate. Y is equal to x into cos x. Now, there we had a product of algebraic and logarithmic function. It is x and cos x, trigonometric as well as the algebraic function. So let us get the first one, dy by dx equal to x, first function, into derivative of the second is minus sin x, plus second function. What is the second function? Cos x into derivative of x is 1. So it is x into minus sin x plus cos x into 1. So let me write it properly, that is dy by dx would be equal to minus x into sin x plus cos x. Now this is, see, after the differentiation, write one more step and write the proper order of the function so that it would be easy for you to go for the second derivative. Now let me differentiate for the second time. Look here, when you differentiate again, this is a product and you have to apply the product rule, whereas that is an independent term which can be directly differentiated. So let me apply the product rule here for the first function. But we have got a minus sign, so keep that minus sign outside. It is, keep it as minus of x into sin x becomes cos x plus sin x into second function into derivative of x is 1. If you don't write this, don't write the bracket there, you will be multiplying only the first term by negative sign, second term you may write positive. So whenever there is a product rule, you are applying, always there will be two terms here. And when you have got a minus sign, remember both the terms should be multiplied by the minus sign. Now this cos x, when you differentiate, becomes minus sin x, isn't it? So minus of here x into minus sin x plus cos x into 1, that is over. Now keeping that minus sign outside, I have differentiated for the second time. It is x into cos x plus sin x into 1. Both of them should be multiplied by the minus sign. Now cos x has become minus sin x. Now let me remove the bracket, minus x into cos x minus sin x, and then another minus sin x which is already there. So how do you group that one? First term, write it as it is, minus x cos x, and the second one, both of them are having the same sign, minus sin x becomes minus 2 times sin x. So this is the answer, this is the second derivative of the given function, both the terms are negative. So suppose I had x into sin x here. So it becomes x into cos x plus sin x into 1. So for this term, again you have to apply the product rule. So here, depending upon how the function is given, we go for the differentiation. We may have to apply the product rule or the quotient rule or the chain rule, whichever rule is applicable for that particular function. So I am considering here product of the two functions. I took algebraic with the logarithmic function and algebraic with the trigonometric function. Now I am considering y is equal to e to the power x into sin x. What type of functions are they? One is an exponential function, the other one is a trigonometric function. So here, both of them of course basic functions only. Let us differentiate. Write the first derivative. dy by dx equal to first function e to the power x into sin x becomes cos x plus second function sin x into, you know that the derivative of e power x is e to the power x only. It remains the same even after differentiation. Now for the next derivative, either you can keep the terms separately. For each one of them, you have to apply the product rule. Instead, you know that whenever we do the differentiation of the exponential function, that always comes out as a common factor. Therefore, you can take out the common factor. See, anyway, you have to apply the product rule. If you take out here for both the terms, you have to apply the product rule. Instead, if you take out the common factor, then it becomes cos x plus sin x. Now, only once you have to apply the product rule here. You can keep them separately, apply the product rule separately, then also you get the same answer. You have to be careful to apply the rule properly, product rule properly. I have taken the common factor because always in the case of the exponential function, we get a common factor of the original function. Now differentiate again with respect to x, that is d square y by dx square equal to e to the power x. Little bit careful you have to be. E to the power x into, that is first function, into derivative of the second. Cos x becomes minus sin x becomes plus cos x. One common mistake I have seen is, this part every student does. They forget to do the next one, that is first function into derivative of the second, plus this is the second function into the derivative of the first you have to. If you don't do that one, it's a 2-mark question, you will not be getting the second mark for this one. Now, second function, that is plus cos x plus sin x into derivative of the first, that is again e to the power x. So, first function into derivative of the second, minus sin x plus cos x, plus second function into derivative of the first, and e power x remains the same. Now, carefully you take out the common factor e to the power x. Any number of times you differentiate, this always comes out as a common factor. Let me write the remaining terms. Here minus sin x plus this is cos x plus another cos x and plus another sin x. Now, we can go for simplification. You observe here minus sin x and plus sin x, they get cancelled. So, what is remaining? 1 cos x plus another cos x, 1 plus 1, that is 2 cos x. So, answer is 2 into e to the power x into cos x. So, this is the derivative of the second derivative of the given function. So, when you have e power x, the exponential function, as a part of the product, I mean. So, whenever you do the differentiation, always you will be getting that as a common factor. So, you take out the common factor and finally you can even after second derivative also you get the common factor. After taking out, there are possibilities of simplifying the function. So, simplify. Of course, here we had sin x, so it got cancelled here. It may be some other function, e power x into log x, or x into e power x into tan x or secant x. It can be anything. So, whenever e power x is involved or a power x, then involved, always that comes out as a common factor. Taking out the common factor, you can go for the second derivative. Now, let us try one more problem. Again, I am considering the product rule only because the function is a product of two functions. Y is equal to e to the power 6x into cos of 3x. Observe the difference between this and the previous one. In the previous problem I had given you e to the power x into cos x, isn't it? E to the power x into cos x I had given you. That is, e power x was a basic function, cos x was also a basic function. Whereas here, I am having e to the power 6x. So, it is a composite function. You have to differentiate e power x first, then 6x again. So, we have to apply the chain rule. Here again, cos x means it is a simple function, cos of 3x means it is a composite function. So, this has to be differentiated, then you have to differentiate 3x also. Since both the factors of the problem or the product, they are composite function. When you differentiate both of them, so you have to apply the chain rule and apply on the whole it is a product. So, product rule and chain rule. Then for the second derivative, you have to be a little bit careful. Now, let me differentiate once. dy by dx is equal to first function e to the power 6x into, differentiate the second, because for the derivative of cos is negative, I write the bracket minus sin of 3x, and for 3x it is 3 into 1, correct, plus second function cos of 3x into, differentiate e to the power 6x, for 6x it is 6. That is, you write dy by dx would be equal to minus 3 into e to the power 6x into sin of 3x, and the second one plus 6 into e to the power 6x into cos of 3x. Now, one step always you write after whenever you are applying the product rule here. Now, look at this one. We have got a common factor here, isn't it? What is a common factor? One is e to the power 6x. The other one is number 3 also can be taken outside as a common factor, or you can take only e power 6 also. But let me take the common factor, both of them. That is, in fact, you can take out the minus sign also as a common factor. Then it would be, suppose I take the minus sign, minus 3 into e to the power 6x. Be careful about this one when you take out the minus sign as common factor. So minus 3 is there, e power 6 is there. What is remaining? It becomes plus sine of 3x. Now look here, the term is positive. When you take out minus sign as common factor, this becomes minus. So that when you remove the bracket, minus of minus it is plus. Correct? Now 3 has been taken outside. What is remaining? Another 2 is remaining. And this also is a common factor. So we are having 2 times cos of 3x. Now this is the first derivative. Or else if you had kept it as it is also, when you go for the second derivative, for both the terms, no, you have to apply the product rule. I told you, whenever we have an exponential function as a part of that one, always that comes out as a common factor. So both the terms would be containing e power x. For the second derivative, either you apply the product rule for both the terms individually or take out the function, exponential function as common factor, then go for the differentiation for the second time. So d square y by dx square would be equal to, you keep that minus 3 outside, then apply the product rule. It is e to the power 6x into this function. That is what you have to apply the product rule here. But be careful here, minus 3, you have more brackets when you have the negative terms. First function, e to the power 6x, write it as it is. Now 6x into, use another bracket, or you can, better you write this one. Now sine of 3x, what's the derivative? Cos of 3x, for 3x it is 3, minus 2 into, differentiate cos of 3x, it is minus sine of 3x, minus sine of 3x, for 3x it is again 3. So close the bracket here. So this is the flower bracket I am closing, first function into derivative of the second. So derivative second means sin 3x has become cos of 3x, minus 2 into cos of 3x has become minus sin 3x into 3. So first function into the derivative of the second. Then plus I am writing here, second function, that is I am writing another flower bracket. Second function is sin 3x minus 2 times cos of 3x into derivative of the first. What's the first function? E to the power 6x. For 6x it is 6. Close the square bracket. Be careful when you write the different brackets when you are having negative terms and all. The reason is here minus 3 is applicable to all the terms here. So I have written minus 3 outside. Now the e power 6x is the first function, the other one in the square bracket is the second function, which I have applied the product rule and differentiated. So first function e power 6x into derivative of the second, plus the second function into derivative of the first. Now here minus 3 into, first you take out e power x, which is present in both of them, as common factor. Now write all the terms inside the square bracket one by one. This has come out. Now 3 into cos of 3x. When a composite function is given, be careful. 3 into cos of 3x minus of minus plus 2 into 3, that is 6. 6 into sine of 3x. Too many negative signs we are having. Here we don't have any problem. This has come out, 6 is remaining. 6 into sine of 3x. 6 into sine of 3x, and then minus 6 into minus 2, that is 12 times cos of 3x. 12 times cos of 3x. Now carefully you solve the simplified. Minus 3 into e to the power 6x. Let us observe, we have some common terms. 3 cos 3x minus 12 cos 3x. So, it is same term is present. 3 minus 12 is minus 9 times cos of 3x, minus 9 times cos of 3x. Here both of them are positive, we have to add 6 plus 6, that is 12 times sine of 3x. 12 times sine of 3x. Now again, do you have a common factor? Look at the numbers, minus 3 plus 12. You can take out 3 as a common factor. I am taking minus 3 as a common factor. So, because both the 9 and 12 are divisible by 3. When you take out minus 3 here, one more step to express the answer in a better way. Minus 3 into e to the power 6x. This I am writing. And another minus 3 comes out as a common factor. So, when minus sign is taken out, now it becomes plus. Minus 3 is there, means 3 is remaining. 3 into cos of 3x. Now, minus has come outside, means this plus becomes minus. 3 has been taken outside, 4 is remaining. 4 times sine of 3x. So, it is minus 3 was already there. Minus 3 was already there, into e power 6x into another minus 3. So, 3 cos 3x minus 4 sin 3x. Now, let me write finally multiplying all the terms outside the square bracket. Therefore, the second derivative d square y by dx square equal to minus 3 into minus 3 is 9. It is 9 into e to the power 6x into 3 cos 3x minus 4 sin 3x. 4 sin 3x. Now, this is the answer or the second derivative of the given function. So, this is how you have to, especially this particular problem which I took in the end, that is, it is both the functions of the product or composite functions. Naturally, you are applying the chain rule at both the stages. So, there will be some common factor because it was containing the exponential function. So, this is how you have to solve this type of problem. You can expect not for 2 mark question, for a higher mark question. Whereas the earlier problems is very simple 1 mark or 2-3 steps extra means for a 2 mark question, this can be expected for a higher mark question. So, in the coming session also I will be working out some more problems on the second derivative. Thank you.